Hi, my name is Dashiell Allen. I am a senior at Reed College and a Latin American correspondent with Latina Republic. So my region of study has been Mexico, and I have specifically focused on stories that relate to immigration. So Mexico, for a little bit of background context, Mexico has in the past decade experienced a great influx of people migrating through its borders, most of them transiting through the country in hope to reach the United States. Recently, since 2018, when President Andrés Manuel López Obrador took office, the Mexican government made a deal with the Trump administration that they would militarize their southern border with Guatemala and not allow people to pass through from southern Mexico to the northern border with the United States, which explains in part why there are now many, many migrants and people seeking international protection in dangerous situations throughout Mexico. So I knew practically nothing about Mexico's immigration policy before I started my internship, and I had before only considered immigration from Latin America as related specifically to people crossing over the US-Mexican border. So for my stories, I spoke to activists, artists, and founders of pro-migrant organizations. It was always a very humbling experience to talk to them, and they taught me so much about the region and about the problems that migrants face. I always made sure that my stories served to amplify their voices and experiences. In some cases, I have also stayed in touch with the people I've interviewed, and we send each other messages and updates on what we're working on, things like that. I was particularly inspired by my interview with Daniela Flores and Teresa Gonzalez, who are founding members of Las Vanderas, which is a feminist pro-migrant organization that's located in Mexico City. They told me that to them, immigration is, they described it as a social movement that's really a fight for one's life. And they emphasized in our conversation the importance of recognizing the full personhood of people that are in the process of migrating, that are so often, only recognized by media as victims, that are often victimized. So perhaps one of my most profound takeaways from my time at Latina Republic is the necessity of making people's voices and stories told, especially when reporting on human rights violations. This experience was my first time working as a journalist and storyteller. Personally, it has changed the way that I take in media and current events. It is incredible to me that I saw almost no mention of any of the stories I reported on in any major US news outlets, such as the New York Times or CNN. I was consistently inspired reading my fellow interns' stories as well. And it was very inspiring to work within this community of young people that are all excited and interested in uplifting the voices of people throughout Latin America. Dr. Quartucci and really everyone at the Latina Republic team really greatly inspired me to write stories, not to follow any particular single way of writing a story, but to really be creative and think for myself and go in whatever direction my stories would take me, and also showed me how storytelling is a form of advocacy. So I knew before my internship that I was committed to working in public service, but I hadn't at all considered the work I'm doing now as work in journalism and communication and storytelling, oral histories. I hadn't considered those types of practices as forms of advocacy, forms of public service. So my internship has inspired me to pursue opportunities in journalism specifically, and I'm excited to continue to seek out and make visible people's stories. I think the internship is a wonderful opportunity for college students like myself to gain firsthand experience writing and researching on the region. I remember that when I first applied to the internship, I thought, well, I'll never be able to interview anyone, especially someone working on the ground in another country. I'm not qualified. I'm too shy. I'm not good enough. And I'm forever grateful for the opportunity that I've had to overcome those fears. I will always remember my lived experiences at Latina Republic, and I am hoping to continue to read news from the sources I have relied upon about immigration and about Mexico in general. And my final words for Latina Republic are just thank you.